Alright, Bob Buckley here with another Frontline Disc Golf form review. Today we have a backhand review for Robert. We got Robert on the right, we got Dan Brooks-Wells on the left. I'll go ahead and play their form through once, and then I'll back it up and I'll start the review. Alright, so the first thing I always say in all of my form reviews is slow down, speed does not equal distance. So you don't need a fast run up in order to throw far. If your form is proper, you'll see plenty of distance. I want to thank you because your left hand is already off your disc. Most people, when they're throwing, have their left hand on their disc, and as they pull back, they follow their left hand and it causes them to round. I think this is a very good habit to get into and get this left hand off your disc, so it's great. Nice job starting up at your chest with the disc, but you should have the disc in front of you or out here, not out in front of you. As you notice, Dan stands sideways to his target the entire time, already has his shoulders lined up in the direction that he's walking. That allows him to not have to rotate his body onto the line that he's playing. Dan likes to picture when he's walking up that there's a line in front of him that he's walking on, and that line is pointed directly at his target. Every step, every reach back, his pull through, everything is on that same line, and that way he only has to worry about his end point and his starting point, and everything else should follow through on the line. So, get rid of this extra motion of you having to swing your body onto that line and just start by walking sideways. As soon as you take your first step, your eyes are down on your disc. We want your eyes up here looking at the target. You should be looking at the target as long as you can until your reach back doesn't allow you to anymore. So we'll go through it more and I'll get to that later. Your X step is really good. Most of the time we see people have too big of an X step and it turns their hips backwards and it sets them all off. You have a really nice small X step, which is what we like to see. Pull through looks good too. So your reach back timing, tell everybody that the front foot, as the front foot comes out of the X step, the reach back should begin, and as the front foot touches down, the reach back should be at its peak. So your timing is perfect. As you're pulling through, everything looks good here. Everything looks good here, and then right here, you open up your shoulders a little too early. We want to see you get into this power pocket. If you notice Dan here, his shoulders are still in line with the target. His elbow is way out in front of him. This is what we call the power pocket. I call it breaking the glass because I like to tell people to imagine that there's a glass window right here and that you're trying to shatter that window with your elbow. So you want to, it's really hard to do. I said that down here, but it's really where the pros separate from the AMs in the distance category. If you watch all of them, they'll get their elbow way out. They get their elbow way out here, and they have the disc. They have the disc in here, and that's where they get the power from. Also, you'll notice by not getting into that power pocket, if you're pulling the disc straight through on that line, whoops, that's a circle, I'll just make it a line. If you're pulling that disc straight through on this line, your arm would never drop below this line. But because you're getting to this point here, and then your shoulders are turning, then you're dipping the disc underneath this line, which makes you dip and then come back up in order to release. I'll show you what I mean. So watch the disc here. I can't draw on the screen and play the video at the same time, but it's right about there. I'll show you. See how the disc dipped? Now it's lower. Disc dipped down, and then as you come back up and you release, you bring the disc back up, which might you're either throwing it a slight hyzer or it's throwing it a little bit nose up. You'll notice how Dan, he pulls straight through. Dan kind of pulls down. He has a really high reach back. He pulls down into the power pocket, but see how flat the disc is here? As he moves forward, he is releasing straight. He doesn't dip at all. So if you can get yourself to get into that power pocket, you'll see a decent amount of increased distance. I really like how you have your left hand tucked here. Being nice and compact gives you faster rotation. That's really good. Let me look here. We like to see like an Eiffel Tower here, what you got going on. It's cool. That's good. Call that an Eiffel Tower. Dan's got it too. Sometimes we see this knee locked, and we don't want to see that knee locked because it can turn into knee injuries down the road. Remember, the elbow should come out and not back. So if you put your back against the wall and you practice getting your elbow out away from your body, your elbow shouldn't touch the wall. If you're bringing your elbow back and touching the wall, that means when you're releasing the disc, you're going to miss right. So you want to make sure that you're coming out. As I told somebody the other day, that they should act as if they are standing next to their buddy and they're trying to nudge their buddy to get their attention. So that's all I got. Your form looks pretty decent. Just a few things to fix. When you are going through and fixing them, I would pick one thing at a time. Don't try to fix everything all at once, because as you try to fix everything all at once, your brain just gets all jumbled and it's hard to, you'll see a significant setback if you try to fix everything all at once. So that's it. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. I'm always available on Messenger.